Hey everyone, it's your girl Ayana. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. Today I wanted to come to you with something that's really been heavy on my heart, not for like a bad reason, but it's something that I really am so grateful that I came across. And I only just recently put a lot of energy into it and through my healing process. Before, I never put any weight behind it, which explains a lot of my past. But one thing that I learned through the healing process that I have no choice but to keep building on and to stand 10 toes down in are my non-negotiables. And I'm not talking about like non-negotiables for relationships, which these actually can be, really, they probably are. But I'm really more so focusing on like my non-negotiables for any and everybody in my life, whether it's a romantic relationship, my child, my family, my coworkers, my boss, the person at the gas station, the bank, the supermarket. These are the non-negotiables to be in my life and to interact with me. And like I mentioned prior to my healing journey, I never really sat down and had non-negotiables. And I guess let me give a better definition of what I'm referring to when I am talking about non-negotiables. Those are the no's in my life. Those are the things where you cannot continue to be in my life if you violate any of these. They're just firm. And after some thinking and growing and deep diving, I have vetted out some and got rid of some of my non-negotiables because they probably didn't serve me anymore. But these are the ones I think that I can carry forward for the rest of my life. May tweak them a little bit, may add to them, but these are really like the roots of who I am and what I need for my life going forward to have the quality of life that I deserve. So during this video, I want you to think about your non-negotiables. If you don't have any or you're not certain of what those are, this would probably be a good time to establish those because I know for me going forward, if you violate my non-negotiables, I know I can't continue to have you in my life. Like for my own well-being, the health of who I am mentally and physically, you have to respect these non-negotiables. And I share these with people, more so like in the pursuit of a relationship. I let folks know this so they understand. Like, if you violate this, you gotta go. I'm not gonna share it with the person at the bank because I'm not even gonna have that much of a time to interact with them. Nor will that be a meaningful conversation because they're gonna go their way. I'm gonna go my way and never see them ever again. But for people that are interested in being in my life for long term, I have these conversations with them, or if I don't verbalize it, by my actions, they can tell that these are my non-negotiables. And I have a short list, very short list, but it's probably all encompassing. So for me, the first one is peace. You cannot come into my life and cause disruption and chaos. That is a no, no, no. You gotta go. And you cannot come in my life or anybody close in my circle and cause disruption. Because to me, that is like, if you are going to do that to them, I am next on the list. I got to get away from you. And what I mean by disrupt my peace is if you are coming in with drama, if you are coming in with malicious and malice intent, if you are coming in to violate someone or violate me, um, just chaos. If you are coming to bring that, or even if it's not intentionally, if you are bringing that into my life, you gotta go, and it's gotta be gross violation of that. Like, I mean, sometimes drama naturally happens, and you can't always avoid it. It's just life. But if you are constantly bringing chaos, like for instance in a relationship, if you are cheating or if you are mean and rude and if you are meaning rude to other people, if you're always angry, I got to tiptoe around you. If you are not taking care of your mental health, and that's being disruptive in our relationship, that is disrupting my peace. And I'm talking about willfully not taking care of your health, your mental health, or even your physical health, right? Um, that's disrupting my peace. Those are things I just can't negotiate with. Like in my life, it is so important. I think because I spent so much time being in a state of chaos that right now in my life, it is so important that I have peace. Like, especially in my home. Holy mackerel. Like when I come home, that is my escape from everything outside. Like I won't answer my phone sometimes because I'm like, ooh, that outside drama I don't want to deal with today. Um, and so I need my home to be full of peace. Like I surround myself with peace. Like I don't invite people into my home that don't bring peace. So it's one of those things where I just can't. I cannot afford to have people in my life who are disruptive. And if they're disruptive in their life and I feel like it might bleed into my life, I can't deal with you either. Like I'm like, you got to get that together. Then come on back over here when you get it together, and then we can convene again. But until then, go on over there because that's too much for me. And I also think, like I said, I spent so much of my life in chaos, willingly in chaos, that is just not appealing. It's not exciting. It's not fun. It really is a burden to me. So I'm getting all that out of my life. It's I've come to the conclusion. It's not worth it. It's not exciting. So it's got to go. So that's my first one. My second non-negotiable is security. And what I mean by security, I mean financial, physical, and emotional security. You cannot, you cannot play with my security. Physical security, you cannot put me in harm's way. You cannot be harmful to me. You cannot, um, you cannot put me in a position where I feel unsafe, or I feel my kids are unsafe, or if I feel my family is unsafe, or if I feel my health is unsafe around you. So safety, security and my safety is a non-negotiable. You cannot be around me if you bring any of that element. I remember I was with someone and they were doing illegal stuff. And I was like, oh no, that doesn't work for me. Like that has always been a non-negotiable for me. Like you cannot play with my freedom. You can't even put me in a position where someone would question my freedom, like or my freedom would be in jeopardy. And I mean by freedom, going to jail, or even the police questioning me. Like you cannot put me in that situation at all. If I see that you're that type of person and you carry on in that kind of lifestyle, you can't even talk to me. You got to go. You got to go. Work it out, turn your life around and come back over here because over here we value our freedom. We love the outdoors and being able to go and do whatever we want. So I don't even entertain people like that. But I've also been in situations like I had a girlfriend who was so combative. Every time we would go out, there was like a potential for a fight because she was so combative. And you know, when you go out with your friends, like, right, you can just let them get into stuff on their own, right? You got to either jump in or keep the peace, right? And I was a peacemaker because I'm not fighting, right? So I was always trying to like diffuse the situation that she was just into. And there were sometimes I just was like, honey, you just gonna have to fight today, and I'm gonna just walk over here, and then I'm gonna help you get yourself off the floor and put your clothes back on after you and this girl fight because I can't do it today. But now that that was years ago, I can't have that in my life. Like if you are combative in any sort of way, unless it's to protect yourself, then you cannot. I cannot. That is putting my life in harm's way. My safety is more valuable than that. So those kind of people got to shoo real quickly out of my life. The next one is emotional. To me, emotional is so high on the chain because I have been in relationships family wise and romantically. Oh, even with friends, even at work. I've been in tons of different emotionally abusive or disruptive relationships throughout my life, um, professionally and personally, that I have come to the resolution that I cannot tolerate it. I will not, I don't care who it is. Emotional abuse got no place in my life. It has absolutely no, I cannot. I I just know because from being in, like I said, relationships, especially romantic relationship, when somebody is playing with you and intentionally trying to harm you and bring you to the lowest point of your life and lower your vibration, it's such a dark place to be in. It's such a painful and bleak state of mind to be in. I don't ever want to be in that kind of position ever. And for somebody that you're supposed to love, and or I should say they're supposed to love you, to put you in that position is terrible. I've been in work environments that were so hostile and so bad on me emotionally. Like I would be sick on the way into work, and by the time I would leave work, I would be so exhausted from being so fight or flight the whole time and defensive because they were so rotten to me. So I know what it's like to be in a really bad work environment and have that emotional abuse from bosses. I've even like had sexual harassment where coworkers would say crazy stuff to me and think like I'm supposed to be okay with you just saying that to me, like hostile work environment. So I have learned like if a situation brings emotional abuse or it infringes on my emotional security, it's got to go. It's not welcome. I get it out of my life, right? And I stand firm, 10 toes down in that. I'm not negotiating with emotional abuse. You get yourself together, you come back, and we can, like I said, reconvene. But until then, no thank you. No thank you. And then the last part of the security is the financial security. I cannot be in a situation where my financial safety is in jeopardy. Like I can't be with somebody who has like a gambling issue or an addiction where they are compromising like paying the bills versus um, to feed their habit or addiction. I can't do that. Somebody who holds and withholds money from me. Like if we have a joint account and I gotta check in with you when I want to spend money, or I gotta check the account every single time because I don't know if you've overdrawn the account, which I've had happen so many times that the overdraft fees are out of control because you're reckless and abusive with the finances, not having any consideration for the household. I can't. I can't. I just the fear of being homeless or broken without is way, way more. I guess it has more on my spirit than being with that person. Like I'd rather not be with you and have financial security because I know I can trust myself to handle business than be with somebody who is going to be abusive. Like I said, like withholding money. I got to give you all my money and then you give me a ration. That don't work for me because I'm financially responsible. Like I pay my bills or whatever, so I don't need you to control me that way. I guess it really comes down to is the control. Like you can't control me with money. Like that should not be the ever the situation where I have to depend um, on you and you take advantage of the fact that I have to depend on you. It's one thing if you're the sole provider um, and you are the one bringing in the money and like we have to have a budget. Totally get that. In my brain I can rationalize that, but you should be able to say, well, you have access to this money to do whatever you need to do with the money. You don't need to. I don't need to control it so that you have limitations. And I think that's just abusive. And I'm coming from personal experience. I have had that where I have had to um, give all my money. Well, this person was making triple what I make monthly, and I was paying majority of the bills. Don't ask, it's stupid. I know I've healed and grown past this level of dumbness, but that's what I put myself in, and they totally took advantage of me and abused me financially. So I can't do that anymore. I refuse. So those are my non-negotiables. I hope you, during this video, have been thinking about your non-negotiables. There's so many different ones you can come up with, but it really is what's important to you. What's the core of you? Like if you had a life without any of these non-negotiables, meaning you had security and peace in your life, which are my non-negotiables, your life should be peaceful. Your life should be exactly what you need it to be. It may not be perfect, but it's peaceful. You have joy and contentment with where your life is because nobody's violating those. So think about what yours are. What are the things in your life that you absolutely cannot put up with? You just cannot. They are not good for your mental health, your physical health, or your emotional health. What are those things? Jot those down. Jot why they're important to you, and really do a deep dive as to why. What experiences have provoked you to say that those are your non-negotiables? Like, what have you gone through that bring value to those non-negotiables, where it's like you're, like I said, 10 toes down. I'm not budging. This is what I need, or this is the boundaries that I'm setting. And that's really what it is. Non-negotiables are your boundaries. So you establish those. But I like to say non-negotiables because I like business talk. And when you go into a business, you better have your non-negotiables. So when you make those deals, you know what you're not going to settle for. And that's what it is. Part of the healing process. We're not settling for less than peace, joy, and what we deserve in this life. And we don't want people in our life to come in and compromise that. So being the best version of yourself is knowing what you deserve, knowing the power that you have, and the value that you bring to this earth, the purpose that you have, and then making sure people do not disrespect or violate that. So establishing those non-negotiables are a great way to stand firm in that and live in that. And I promise you, when you establish that, you establish them, I should say, you do move through life a little bit better. You make better choices. You vet through people and experiences a lot better. And you can avoid a lot of future pain by having these non-negotiables established. So I hope, like I said, you've thought about some for yourself. I would love to hear what your non-negotiables are. Can you relate to any of my non-negotiables? Feel free to use peace, security, because I think those are super important. And they're so all-encompassing. Like, you can really get creative with them based on your experiences of what you can put under those two umbrellas. But like I said, I would love to hear what's important to you as a non-negotiable and why. Why is it a non-negotiable to you? What life experiences have you gone through that has made it firm to you that these have to be non-negotiables in your life? So drop that in the comments below so we can chat about it. Also, share. Have a conversation with your friends. Have a conversation with your family. Ask them what their non-negotiables are and see if you guys are in line. And they may even provide some ideas for non-negotiables if you're struggling with determining some good non-negotiables for you. So, like, share, and subscribe if you have not already. And until next time, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, please be safe, be true, and be authentically you.